we're really there. We've started. The haka proves it. The international attention on our language proves it. The need for our trade and enterprise advertisements to include it, they're all the best indicators that as a country we are showing the greatest value to our Indigenous language.
What do you think has led to that and driven that? Because it hasn't always been the case.
That's right, hasn't been the case. I would think three things. First, I just said my grandmother's name was, her surname was Ormsby. So intermarriage between Māori and non-Māori has been, it's been on the increase. I mean, we just need to look around.
Yes.
I think the new generation are more embracing of our language. I think immigrant families coming here, because they've come from their own strong language backgrounds, they appreciate what it is to have a language like Te Reo Māori. And the third one, I think, is there has been growing capital value associated with Te Reo Māori. Tourism is one example. Big business, you know, it sells, if I could put it that way. The culture, the language has capital value to it. So those would be the big things that I would suggest.
Do you also think that it's more accepted in the media? Has that played a role too? If you listen to Radio New Zealand, for instance, you hear all the reporters starting or ending their reports in Te Reo. Has that played an important role?
Look, they've led the way, you know, Māori and non-Māori. It has been through the media that we have achieved a great deal, a great deal. I've got to also recognise the efforts of our own teachers and kura kaupapa Māori, bilingual units, total immersion unit Māori. But I would suggest that for the simple fact that the media reaches into every home, into each family, having these role models in front of you who are modelling te reo has made a massive difference on a big scale, on a massive scale, and that's huge.
You invented an app. I know will have told this story many times before, but can you tell us about that and what it was like to get that process done?
Oh, that was so exciting, you know. I mean, the journey started in 2008 when my cousin and I would cut up little coloured cards in my garage, in our garage, and then share those cards with most of whom were immigrant families living in East Auckland, and watching them put green cards together with red cards to make a very simple greeting or a very simple prayer or a simple introduction. And watching the transformation that they could put it together, knowing that's what it means in English. Okay, I need your help to pronounce this in Māori, but I can actually say that in Mandarin. So to see that kind of freedom in using te reo with English and other languages, you know, that's the best buzz.
It's one thing, though. It's one thing recognising that. It's another thing to actually go and invent something that deals with that issue, isn't it?
Well, I can say that I'm a very boring person outside of languages. You know, I think about them. You know, other people do other interesting things. I think about language. So when I saw these immigrant families working so well and their ability to speak so quickly with these little cards, I thought it through. And being able to mortgage our home and pay for the technologists to create what I thought through and could see in my mind, that worked. You know, it was difficult.
So, Sophie, you had to mortgage your home?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I had to, you know, you got to back yourself when you have a crazy idea like taking little coloured cards to a massive platform that Hika is now. Now, it wasn't like that in reality, but it was like that in my mind. I can look at you and say, that's what I saw. I saw the Hika platform that it is now, and Hika Explorer, Hika Light, Hika Kiorana for our Rarotongan whānau. It's in Japanese, Italian and so on. I actually saw that in my mind. And the most difficult part was believing. Can I say that? And I'm sure I'm not the only inventor believing that it would work. It wasn't that at times I didn't believe, but it was at times that others didn't believe, and then that can kind of dishearten you. And then you realise, gosh, I've got the family home, you know, here. So that was the incentive to just keep going.
Yes.
Would I do it again? Absolutely. I just wouldn't do it at 50. I'm 60 now, and I did it 10 years ago. I would have done it a lot earlier. And if there's one thing I would like to say, I did it as a wahine Māori. I never once betrayed my heart. You know, the money was never a temptation. It was always about getting a quality product for quality delivery to ensure a quality outcome. And that I drew from my passion for the reo, from my understanding of linguistics and my desire to be the best possible teacher I could be. Only I'm using a technology platform.
Has it been a commercial success for you? I'm only asking you this because I think you have to pay back that mortgage.
I do. We do. No. No, it isn't. Yeah, payday is yet to come. Can I say that? And because it does take a lot, and I understand that technology is changing enormously every minute. So money in the company has to be sunk back into new developments, and that's exciting too. It's great to be part of the thinking around that. But hard cash, no. I wish, but no.
Do you think that we still need a Maori language week? Should we still need it?
I think we have a Maori language week. I think that a great many people did a great deal to get Maori language week. So I would always be in favour of keeping Maori language week. I would simply add, we've got to grow it. We've got to do what you've said you want to do. You know, you always want to do a little bit better in Te Reo, and you're not the only one. Staff here at the university say that. People want to do more. So lengthening the period would be my first option. I would also suggest to you that other techniques other than a week, or as we have it now, I mean, there should be incentives for employers. If you have certain skills in a particular language in other countries of the world, that's valued. You know, you go up a few levels in terms of your interview. There should be incentives for the countdown. You know, if you're going in there to say something in Māori, there should be some kind of reward for your being able to do that. If you're an employee and you can answer a customer saying, how te utu? How much does it cost? And you can say, rima tara, $5. If you can say that, wow. You know, it wouldn't take much at banks, at supermarkets to actually use basic good Māori around the exchange, around commercial exchange. And look, it'll do wonderful things for our tourists who come here, who also use banks and supermarkets, to hear staff saying, kia ora, kei te pihea koe, you know. It's all good.